Now, here's another interesting one, right? Advocate Baloyi had a 38 special. Uh-huh. Um, let me repeat this one. Advocate Baloyi had a 38 special. Well, the same 38 special happens to take the life of his 10-year-old boy. So we're not going to make the story looks a bit, or we're not going to mock the man because of the loss of life. No, that's not what we intend to do in this video, right? We may disagree with the man, but when it comes to matters of this magnitude, matters like this, we are not going to make fun of the situation. But there are things that, or there are lessons that one would have hoped that Advocate Baloyi must have learned from this. Listen carefully. In 2020, okay, let me start afresh. On the 3rd of January 2004, there was an article that was released by IOL. The heading of the article says, "My heart is bleeding," says an anguish George Baloyi on Friday after his 10-year-old boy was shot dead in an incident. He then said, "This is a very difficult time for us," says Baloyi. So a family man, you would have expected him to at least show some sense of responsibilities, and you would have expected him to, you know what I'm saying? The way he deals with situation, you would have expected him to understand that, I'm a family man, so I understand what it means to lose a family member. But let's proceed. There's something I want to show you. This same article says Baloyi, the Regional Deputy Director General in the Office of the National Directorate of Public Prosecution, added that he and his wife and his daughter were completely devastated by their loss. So Advocate Baloyi has been in the management there for a very long time. I'm not sure now whether he is involved or is directly in charge of the entire office. I'm not sure. But you know what I'm sure of and what I'm aware of is the fact that back then he was Deputy General. When Advocate therefore was writing those emails, he was writing to him as a member of the NPA, as a deputy in the NPA, in the Gauteng division. So dive deep into all of those things. But again, I want us to dive deep into this. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the Super Thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying? Will bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. The story goes like Tsepo died on Wednesday evening after accidentally shooting himself with a 38 special revolver, which he got hold of after opening a family safe. From what I know, right here, when incident of this nature happen, you will be investigated. The registrar must investigate to establish whether you were careless in how you handled the firearm or not. Because part of the rules is that you are not supposed to, part of the rules is that you're not supposed to, um, you're not supposed to leave keys or anything to that can lead to the firearm safety. You're not supposed to leave it anyhow. So thus, you will be investigated just to determine if it was because of your carelessness or what. So I would love to know, in this case, whether or not the man was investigated. But let's proceed. Tsepo was at the family's home, was at family Pretoria home with mother Alice at the time. While Baloyi was with his daughter at her school, where they were attending a welcoming ceremony for grade 8 pupil. According to a report on Friday, Bill's newspaper, Tsepo took the saved keys, opened the family safe, and got hold of the gun. He was apparently playing with it when the shot went off. Okay, like I said, we're not gonna make fun of the actual death because nobody should, right? We should sympathize. We're human beings. So we're not gonna make fun of that. But here's the thing. Okay, let me show you something. Mr. Baloyi, Mrs. Baloyi had the shot and went to see what has happened. She found Tsepo lying in a pool of blood on the floor. The bullet had penetrated the temple and hit the ceiling. The injured child was taken to Ferry Glen Hospital, where he was stabilized and then transferred to Wilgus Hospital, where a neurosurgeon was waiting. Okay, but surgery was not possible immediately due to swelling of Tsepo's brain. According to Baloyi, the family returned home, leaving Tsepo at the hospital. They were soon called back as the boy's condition was worsening. Baloyi said he received a second call just as they were arriving at the hospital. Tsepo had not made it. In other words, Tsepo died. So, like I said, I'm going to emphasize on this one. I'm not a person who's going to make fun of someone's difficult situation, especially circumstances like this. I'm only concerned about the handling of a firearm here. That's my major concern. But let's proceed. Baloyi said, I have nothing more to add to the story and nothing to subtract from it. Baloyi told the Star on Friday, it is just salt in the wound to keep repeating the story. Pretoria Inspector Percy Mogoane said on Friday morning that an inquest docket has been opened. They said the investigating officer will be investigating the event step by step as to what happened, said Mogoane, adding that the outcome will determine whether negligence was involved. And that is where basically I'm saying Uguti negligence is my concern here. But again, looking at the man advocate Baloyi himself, I will expect the man to behave a bit better this time. Why? Because you are experienced, you are a father, compassionate, and all these things, this attribute must be found in a family man because you are a father. So how you handle your cases in court, for me, it must reflect the fact that you are a father. For me, it must tell me that, you know what, you are considerate for the fact that you've got a daughter. And yet we see the things that we're seeing in court. There is a saying that says what goes around, it comes around. There is a verse in the Bible that says, I visit the iniquities of the parents to the children. So whatever you do in court, which is not right, you must be aware that the others, they call it karma. I don't believe it's karma, but let's use the word karma casually. Karma will come to your children for the bad things we are doing in court. And that's where my worry is. And I think I've said this before, that in connection to the sense of my case, that it is important for parents to behave in a manner that it doesn't put their children at disadvantage, in a disadvantageous position because of their actions, but rather, whatever you do, think of your children. You might not be there tomorrow, and the things that you have done to others, the system will be doing it to your children, and you can no longer protect them. And that's what I'm saying. For the fact that you are a family man, behave better. Okay, now let's conclude on this one. Maragona said that it will take about 3 months to complete the inquest. He refused to speculate on the possible outcome, saying, we want to leave the family to grieve, which is fair. I mean, it's fair. Anti-gun lobbyists have reacted to the shooting as an illustration of their point. What Director of Gun Free South Africa said, this incident just shows how dangerous it is to have a gun at your home. Even though people may say that they have a safe, which shows that it's still easy for people to get into the safe. You see, that's another point. I want to ask you a question. If you say people shouldn't have guns, I'm talking about legal guns, not illegal guns. If you say people shouldn't have those things, if you look at the level of crime that is taking place, will you confidently say that the police are going to be there to protect them? I'm just asking. Can you confidently say that the police are going to be there to protect them? How long does it take for police to respond? And I'm not talking about people who are living in a privileged environment. You understand? People who are living in four ways, people who are living in Sandton. Because the privilege there is that there's always a security around. So one way or the other, the security are going to react. Then the police will come. But there are people who are living in an area that is not as privileged as those people who are living with security around them. So when they call police and police takes time, what is happening in between while they are waiting for police? Do you see what I'm trying to say? So I feel like it doesn't make sense to say gun-free South Africa. Really, guys, it doesn't really make sense to me. But let's proceed and read the last one. He also said that it is irresponsible for the parents to leave the keys of the safety where the boy could find them. If you have a safe, the key shouldn't be lying around. That is where, that is my point. That is exactly my point. That is exactly my point. A firearm is considered an excessive force. That's why I made an example about the things of you can't leave a firearm there, you can't use an excessive force, all those things. But still, it doesn't make sense that the fact that you leave the keys in a place or area where the child can easily access the keys. It just doesn't make sense, guys. There's something that doesn't make sense there. That's why I'm saying, hey, the negligence there on. Yeah. But I don't make fun of the situation, guys. Don't get me wrong. Nobody deserves to lose their loved one. So I'm not going to make fun of his situation. I'm just saying, terms of the negligence, that's where my concern is.